Okay. Not that a new amenity would be the Band-Aid cure-all, but since we've asked everybody this, you talked about having parks in town, but if you were to pick one amenity that you would love to see Wilton have, what would that be?
Um, I can't. The next question you would ask is where would we put it and things like that. But I would like to see Wilton have a more engaged sort of indoor outdoor recreation center that could be used by lots of people for lots of different kinds of things. It is a sports oriented town, and I'd really like to see that someplace that it's not just kids sports and those kinds of things, but Wilton has a lot of facilities, but they're scattered about, and I'd really like to see that. So that's the first thing I'd like to see the town address in terms of an amenity. Look, whether or not it has a dog park and an ice rink, I don't know the economics enough about dog parks and ice rinks. I like dogs myself, but it's that's aside from that. But I'd like to see something where there was a reason for people to do things. So, like, what the town doesn't have a lot of is centralized places where people interact. So if you go up to, every time I have a meeting, there are a bunch of people out back playing basketball. But, it's not like it's part of a rec center where people can interact. And I think Wilton really needs strong interaction as it moves forward. There's one other thing I didn't talk about. I'm not sure if we can get more. I think we can get more professional office space for doctors in town, perhaps. I don't know how much office space we can get in Wilton. One, the quality of the office space in Wilton really needs to be upgraded. Okay. And I think we should be encouraging that if there's any suggestions on office space at a P and Z level, which is that we need some more Class A office space. I think this stuff was Class A office space, but that was 35 years ago. And there are not, if you're looking at businesses in town here, there are not a lot of, smart buildings and all kinds of things like that to help. But with the transportation issues, it's very hard to get businesses to move to Wilton. I am still astounded though. Like one of the companies that I own has office space in Southport. And the vacancy rate in Fairfield, I'm sorry, in office space is almost zero. And in Wilton, it hovers around, what is it, 50%, Heather, or something like that, office space being filled. And
Mhm.
so there's really a disconnect between, what Wilton has in terms of viability of office space. And I'm scared that it spirals, like because of that, Fairfield has more places to eat, and because of that, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy if you go the other way.